Now these are the days I've been waiting for. Nice, sunshiny days, pushing 60 degrees. The robins and the redwings have decided to come back up on the mountain. Spring is knocking on the door. It's very encouraging to hear the birds calling and to see just little hints of green in the grass, and pretty soon all these trees will be starting to lighten up with their buds. I know the maple syrup people have already, they might already be over by now. Probably not quite over yet, but as it gets warm this week, it'll really do some damage on their flow. If it 2 consecutive nights above freezing, I think is pretty detrimental to them. But it's encouraging we got a little bit of snow still hanging around, and we'll probably get more snow, but it's encouraging to feel the kiss of the sun on your face. I don't know what this year is going to bring for me. I don't know where we're going to get to go, but to listen to these birds and the promise of breaking the ground, the promise of a new calf out there, got me feeling pretty good. Hebrews 10, 24 and 25 talk about how to inspire one another, how to encourage one another, how to meet, continue to meet together. And as much as this sunshine feels good on my face, I know that I get a lot of good encouragement from being around my church people, people who have a like mind as me, my family in general, just encouraging one another, building each other up. That's good. That's good for us. That's good for us to join together, and we should think about that throughout this year. Well, I'll tell you, I don't have anything for you guys. I come in here to check that calf and to see if any of the rest of you are fixing to pop today, but I don't have any treats for any of you. Okay? Well, she got herself up while I was talking bad to the other cows. She hadn't ventured a lot yet. She's up moving around after we got started yesterday. Didn't know if she was gonna quite get on. Her mom's a heifer, first time for her, and they just weren't communicating very good. So still though, for a day-old calf, I'm not sure if I would expect her to be moving a little better or not. She's got that part figured out though, doesn't she? That's good, because I was wondering about that. I talked about it last year, just with the lack of ground that we have in the wintertime and the access to that ground. We sacrificed this pen again. It's going to have a lot of organic matter on it, but we've kind of beat it up. So we're going to have to come in and, give it a little love here, just as soon as we get these cows moving off of it. Now, Maybelline, I won't show them the graphic parts of you, but your teats at least are starting to get swollen pretty good. You look like you're ready to just get rid of that calf anytime. If we could look at well, you don't look so imbalanced there, but it was just laying on one side of you. Bea, you're a heifer too. She's a first time heifer, but she's not quite ready to go yet. She was showing some sign, but she's not as far along as Maybelline number 7. I even hear the killdeer up there. Yeah, that'll make you feel good. It's a beautiful day. I'm glad to be out here today. Unfortunately, I gotta get my chores done and get some stuff done inside, because there's work to be calling, and I should be outside working, but there's some life things that need to be addressed first. Okay, number 7. You're fixing to go soon too, and I'll tell you, if we can get too graphic with you, if I remember right, last year your udder swelled pretty grossly. You're walking away. I gotta get your water filled up, don't I? I'll get it right on that. But you're, well, she won't stand still, but her teats are all swelled up too. She's ready to go, maybe. But she did that last year, I believe. And then she had her calf in a rainstorm and didn't do a very good job taking care of it. So we'll hope for a little better weather if she goes this week. I guess we should start first by talking about what we stir one another up to. We certainly know a lot of people that can stir us up, but we're supposed to stir one another up to love and good works. To love and good works. To be together, to inspire each other to love each other. Not to despise each other, not to cause continual strife with one another, but we inspire each other, we stir one another up to love and good works, to do good things. I don't think there's anything wrong with the stillness of the stream or sitting by a quiet campfire. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I think we sometimes get confused with this idea to just be and excuse ourselves from any responsibility. Our responsibility is to stir one another up to good works so that we do good things and inspire those around us to do good things likewise. I think it's probably warm enough to get a regular waterer out now. Unfortunately, there isn't one up here, so we're gonna have to clean it out for today. Scrub brush. That's not perfect for today. I'll bring another water up. So that we're not in this crock pot situation. This does work, but now that we're not afraid of the others freezing as much, we'll just bring one of them. I'm sure we'll still get some. I don't think we're going to get any of the bitter cold. I'm going to put my latch down low because that's where the door was struggling. Just a little simple handle there. How about that, girl? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. You're shorting me on the eggs. We're going to set this outside because I'm going to clean this up because it stinks in here. Get you back in the egg laying business. I'm wishing I would have brought the tripod because I dropped the camera in the chicken poo. So that's no good. And I guess the pitchfork's gonna be alright for now. I probably should have found me a flat shovel and finish cleaning off. I don't think there's one in the next building, the next room over. It's not it doesn't stink so bad in here. So it's certainly at the point where it needed to be changed. I don't think it was drastically overdue. But I probably could have got to it sooner than I did. Of course, it was also probably froze a good bit of it. Pitchfork's going to work good for the big stuff, but it's not going to clean it up the way we want it to. It's pretty snug in here, too. Might have to find me a shorter pitchfork. So even if it doesn't stink in here so bad, maybe it would have been just slightly easier to get cleaned up if I hadn't. Look at that. That was pretty smart, wasn't it? I thought I fixed that in place, but I guess I made plans for doing just that. Another big benefit is that the chickens won't be in here for most of the year. They're going to be outside. Well, I gotta go get a scoop shovel because pitchfork's not going to clean it up good enough. So let's go do that. My coat was too much, and this old ragged shirt, I wasn't expecting to show it to you on the screen, but it's kind of met its day. It's a work shirt. My hat's a little too much. Of course, I've been moving a little bit. That should be a lot better for him, and after we move him, we'll probably move him here within the month. We'll probably move him outside and start what I'd really like to do is get him out there on that cow manure. Start kicking that cow manure around here very soon. I'll probably look at the forecast in the next couple of weeks and see. I mean, the next 2 weeks are going to be really nice. So if I can get that little cage positioned out there, we'll put the chickens out in that pasture. We got to just make sure they're protected good enough from the predators. I need to get a little hog net or something just to put along the bottom to give predators a little juice, coyotes or foxes that might come in there. Some people think that they don't need to go to church. Some people think that they don't need to gather with other people of the same mindset, Christian attitude. Well, if you are a believer, if you do proclaim to know Jesus Christ, then Hebrews 24:25 says, "Let us not forsake the meeting together as some are in the habit of doing." And that's to strengthen us against the world, because we don't know what kind of attacks are going to come our way. And it's a lot nicer and a whole lot easier to stand in those places when you're surrounded by people who know you, people who believe in you, people who support you, people who will lift you up when you need to be lifted up, to encourage you to good works, to inspire you to love. So we most definitely need to be gathering together. And it's a very callous thing. It's a tool of the devil and the demons to make you think that you can stand in this world by yourself. It day like this almost enough to convince you that you've already made it through winter. I know we're still bound to get another snow or two between now and Easter. It's only March the 10th. It's only March the 10th. One of the biggest snowstorms I ever remember was March of '93, the Ides of March, the storm of the century. So this thing could turn ugly in a hurry. It doesn't look like it's going to, but I don't want to get myself in too good of spirits just yet out here in my t-shirt and enjoying this weather and thinking about the work that I could get done after being cooped in all winter and probably about half losing my mind. There's stuff that I could do in the wintertime, but it's not near as much fun to do stuff in the wintertime as it is on a day like today. Ecclesiastes 4:9 and 10 says, "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone, when he falls and has not another to lift him up." Bluebirds and woodpeckers and all sorts of birds everywhere. It's coming alive. Sometimes in our pride we think we're so tough that we can take anything, that nothing could stop us. We don't need anybody to help preserve us through our days. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Bible says, woe to him who has no one to help pick him up. No one to pick him up after he's fallen. If you think that you're all ready for everything the world has to throw at you, I just tell you to hold on. Just use caution, because you haven't seen it all yet. And without people around you, without good solid family, good solid friends, and good Christian folk near you to lift you up, well, you might just stay stuck in the mud. I don't intend to stay stuck in the mud. I don't intend to let myself wallow in pity. I intend to cling to those who will help me, that will lift me up. That's what we need in this life. We got too many people thinking that they can blaze their own trail and do their own thing without looking to others for help, without relying on someone else, without surrendering ourselves. That's the biggest thing, is pride. Pride in causing us not to surrender ourselves to somebody else. That we would have to admit that maybe we're just not quite as tough as we think we are. I'm not sure if we can hear the bluebirds, but there's bluebirds calling up there. See what I mean about getting these chickens out? This isn't as much of a sacrifice as that over there is. And I need to get them closed off of this so that we just maintain one area. Bring the chickens over here and let them get into that manure and spread that around. And I think that'll just be glorious when it's all said and done. What do you think about those two old trees? All those fir trees have been dying around here. You think I should cut those fir trees down? I want to plant some other things in there. Maybe some honey locust or something like that. But those fir trees have died. They're past their point. They're good woodpecker habitat. And maybe something else nests in there. But from an agricultural standpoint, from a cow standpoint, they aren't offering too much. I should have waited for the vinegar, huh? That's probably a little sharp on that first little bit, wasn't it? pretty strong. Yeah, that'll wash you out. I know you've heard me talk about it before, but these field fences without any juice on them, and now that they're starting to itch, she's going to have that fence knocked down, which it's an interior fence, so I don't really care, but I'm going to have to get out here and get juice on all of it to keep her from pressing on it, and she's just one. So you can imagine all these girls just pressing on that fence and trying to tear it down. She'll break those posts off and rip the fence loose, just any way she can scratch herself. So tomorrow, or one day this week, if not this afternoon, it won't be tomorrow, but I got to get out here and build some electric around to keep them off of that. I believe with the sunshine, we're going to have to get back to our two water system. People might say they drink a lot more in the wintertime. That hasn't been my experience. I hope I haven't missed all the frost cycles, because I was hoping to do a little frost seeding. And theoretically we're good till April, but I think, boy, if we're gonna have 2 weeks of weather where it's not gonna frost, I'm gonna have to look at the long-term forecast to get me some seed for some of these fields that we've used up a little bit. The hog field, I intended to stir up a little bit, too much moss. You can see here, I wanted to get the hogs to stir this up some. I actually wanted to bale feed out here, bale graze out here. That didn't work out because I didn't get the bales out here. That would have helped out tremendously here to have sacrificed this lot, this pen, and saved that one up there. Maybe next year. It is just a glorious day. I can already feel my skin turning red under the heat of the sun. It's not even that hot. I can see that my skin is turning red. I can feel it. I can feel the heat coming in. Good infusion of vitamin D into my system. It's just wonderful. I'm sure I've got a whole bunch of stuff to do, and I need to go do it. But boy, I'm like a cow being let out of the barn, kicking my heels up and having a good time. Love y'all. Have a good day.